Live from Break Free Worldwide headquarters in Houston, Texas. With your host, Jeremy. And B-Boy Moy. And joining us tonight,
to Break Free Worldwide Podcast, episode number 19. My name is Jeremy. Moy won't be joining us today. He's out on the road. Shout out to him. Shout out to Monster Energy, our sponsor. But today we got a really special episode. The South, Houston, Louisiana is definitely in the building. Me, myself, man, before y'all know exactly who this is and before I introduce you, I'm just humbled. I'm honored to have somebody on the podcast who I grew up listening to, and then his reputation precedes him, and he really needs no introduction. He's a straight legend, and it's an honor to have him. Everyone make some noise for ESG. Whoa. In the building. What's good, fam?
What up, Jay?
Good to see you, dog.
You good?
Yes,
good?
Sir. How you feeling today?
I feel good, but I'm looking at myself up there. I've been losing weight. I've been exercising.
Hey, we're gonna test out your breaking skills. You're gonna throw around at the end of the show, bro.
TV make me look a little chunky.
You was telling me you used to break when you was younger.
Of course, man.
Yeah,
That's a lot of new wave hip hop. Sometimes they're not culturally connected.
Speak on it.
So as as a young child, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I seen everybody break dancing.
Yeah, and the boom in the 80s and everything.
Of course.
Early
So
90s.
By the time I got to 11, I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
And we was in a restroom, and they was having a big break dancing contest, right? And everybody was going off. The floor was slippery, so you was able to windmill. I never could get my windmill on my head spins, right? But I freestyled. And after I freestyled, they loved it so much, so I never had to dance again. It was just strictly freestyle.
That was it. You just retired after that.
I retired. Man, you know what I'm saying?
But man, I think me growing up on your music, and like I really mean it when I say that. I'm not fronting. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up on you and on SUC. Me growing up in HTOWN, born and raised, man. Like as an artist, I've tried to rap before. I ain't gonna lie. Can't rap, but that's why I'm a dancer. You feel me? But what I'm saying is, like, me and the artists here at Break Free and the people who rep Break Free and my personal dance crew, Have a Coro, we are very connected to hip-hop as a culture, and we are influenced by everything from the music to fellow dancers to Houston as a culture. So when I dance and I go out on the floor and I'm dancing, like, in Europe or Japan, anywhere, like, there's something of SUC, of ESG, of H-Town culture in me when I go up there.
That's
bro.
real. That's real.
It's crazy to have you here, man. And I know you growing up, and you pioneering and being a part of the golden age, like in the 90s. And when people think of the golden age, they think of like, New York and things like that. So I wanted to speak. We'll get into that too, man. But I just want to say, like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. And I know you growing up and you even speaking on you used to break. And me just listening to your music, when I think of like Smoke On and the sample it used, like your influences, like you like from the core of it, like 4 elements of hip hop, doing it because it's you speaking on your environment and like what hip hop really means and what you view as hip hop. So I guess the first question is like, just a short story about you getting into hip hop. How was it? I'm curious about that and how you think hip hop has changed over the years.
I had a cousin, older cousin. He lived in Brooklyn. So he would have these WBLS tapes, and I forgot the other radio station. There was all these mixtapes from New York. Yeah. And when he would come down for the summertime, when I was real young, he would play all these tapes for us, and I would listen to it, and I was just mesmerized by it. And my mom had...
This is in Louisiana. You grew up in Louisiana.
Right, outside of New Orleans, small town called Bogalusa, Louisiana. My mom had records for days. So my cousins, I had 2 cousins, they both were DJs, I had another cousin lived in LA, and they were all older than me, so they were all like around 12, 13. And when they would come and we would have the family gatherings, they were having tapes, they were playing with different break beats, and my other cousin had a keyboard already, he was making beats. So I was just mesmerized by it. So by the time I got to the 7th grade, I bought my first Can't Go Like LL, and I started honing my freestyle skills. Just rapping. I didn't even know about freestyling, just rapping. I love Run DMC, you know, everybody, you know, the Crush Grooves, the Beat Streets with the breaking, the movie Breaking, Breaking 1, Breaking 2. And my first rap battle, when these guys was breakdancing, what I was telling you about, they started reciting a rap from Breaking. I think it was DJ Reckless, whatever it was, DJ Glove or whatever it was. And I was like, that's not y'all song. Y'all stole that from the movie Breaking. And
calling them biters.
Right. And it was biting back then. And I made my first rap up off of Run DMC. So 7th grade talent show, 8th grade.
Damn.
Bow. 9th, and I kept on going. You know, that was my thing. You know, first rap convention I attended was called Jack the Rapper. They used to have them. So I was like 18, fresh out of school. My homies took me to Atlanta. I met Tupac, Dre, Snoop, Tribe Called Quest, so many numerous people. And it was just in me, you know. I had a chance to either go to the Navy or go to college, right? And my mom was like, I can't afford college. But I was by that time I was intertwined in the streets and everything. So I'm like, I'm going to college myself. So when I got to college, I was able to, you know, go to studios, you know, and start rapping. That's when I met UGK, Cash Money Records.
What college?
USL.
Oh,
it's UL in Lafayette now. I majored in communications. You know, I stayed in class for a year, for one full semester.
That was my follow-up question.
You know, and that's why I met Sean Solo, who wound up producing Swinging and Banging. You know, we were just some college kids chasing our dreams. And I used to make tapes, right, of different freestyles. And I would dub the tapes and we would give them to everyone. And I remember I used to always like want to send my tapes to New York, LA, because that's where I saw the records at. When I would go buy my records, Public Enemy, you know, whoever it was. And it was just too far for me to get there. And the guy was playing a UGK, Ghetto Boy song. He was like, man, they from Houston. And my homies used to come to Houston all the time. My dad lived in Houston, so at 19, I left college and moved to Houston. And that's why.
What year was that?
That's like 93, you know, 94.
And Swinging and Banging came out in 94, right?
Yeah. And I recorded it in the studio. It was still 93 when I recorded it, but it was 94 by the time it came out. Screw got it. I met him from listening to tapes. My homies was jamming Screw tapes. I went to his house. His ex tell me the story all the time that he almost cried when I brought him to Wax because he had never heard nobody say his name on a Screw tape. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on the radio.
And you mentioned it,
and I wrote that line before I actually ever met DJ Screw.
You just knowing about it, and
I just knew he would slow it down. After that, Capitol Beach Party. Bam!
Crazy.
Everybody's playing Swinging and Banging in their cars, and that's when that part of the Houston edition of ESG was born.
Well, I'm curious because, you know, kind of going into the, you know, the new wave, how it is nowadays versus back then. I can think about this because I started dancing in 2006, but I was taught by OGs and people who started in the 90s, and they tell me, and even me just knowing and using common sense, like the come up from back then versus now is a lot different.
Of course.
And even now, like when you tell me, like you name drop Screw on Swinging and Banging before you even met Screw, I'm curious as to how you knew about Screw, because like it's no telling nowadays. You go on YouTube, you can look it up, you know it right away. But how is it that you knew about Screw, and what is it that made you put it on that record?
My older, like you say, what did you call them? Your OGs. You say OGs? Yeah. OG breakdown. It was my OGs. Yeah. You know, the guys that was older than me, they was playing the Screw tapes and they was jamming them. And you know, they had, you know, I was introduced to the swingers, the slab, the scissor, and everything else. And we riding around and they playing the Screw tapes. I'm like, man, what is that? I'm like, that's DJ Screw. And this is way before the gray tapes. You know, they were just the tapes, you know, with the number on them. And I said, man, I want to meet him, you know, but while I'm working on the album, I'm listening to Screw tapes, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm steady jamming, you know, and that's why I mentioned him in the song. So I was like, man, I got to go over there. Bam, I went over there. And people don't know DJ Screw won the Just Awards. Like, they think when the masses, you know, think of DJ Screw, they think of just a DJ who sips, serves slow music down. No, I DJ'd as a child, you know what I'm saying, from early age. I had mixes
Learning
and
from your
turntables.
cousins.
Yeah. So when we first got together, our love for hip hop was so just undeniable. It was retarded and crazy.
Man,
we would battle. Me and him, you know, I'm
vinyl.
On vinyl. I do all that.
Yeah.
Scratch with stop the record with my face. Elbow, screw would turn around. We would be battling.
That's crazy.
You know, and
y'all got no footage of that?
Hell no,
it was just natural, just y'all getting down. Yeah.
And every time we would hook up, you know, go to house, have fun, we chopping this, you know, I never could chop, but I could scratch my ass off. So we would always battle, and our love for hip hop was just so intertwined, and we became such close friends.
Man, I'm glad you say that, bro, about like people get it twisted. Like the masses, when they think about Screw, they think just a DJ who slow down music and sip syrup, and that's it. Man, like
amazing.
There's a classic photo of him in his room and just a massive records, just records all around him, bro. So me coming from a background knowing about hip hop, being a b-boy, knowing about records and digging and that journey, you know what I'm saying? Like I know what's up. Even before I saw that picture, I knew what's up. But the people who aren't connected and know that, they just they see what's on the surface and they think it's just that. But it, like, and that brings me into my next thing, because like I know nowadays, and you just released the album last month, Trill Republik.
Right, soundtrack.
That's
Trill
a group
Republik.
that you got now, right?
Yeah, that's the group I got.
And I think was it the first track? It's called "Save the South," right? That's the opening track.
That's the opening track.
And I listened to that, and that's like, it's basically a record too about talking about how hip hop is nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And how disconnected it is, and how people is nowadays.
I wish you could see that video.
Yeah, I want to. I listened to it today, but I want to see the video.
The video is amazing.
It's shot here in Houston.
No, we shot it out in the country. It's in the rural, you know. There's a legendary Hall of Famer football player that let us use his ranch. And
I'll check it out.
It's dope. And when I say dope, it's on a whole nother level. You're not even gonna think. Like, people don't, the video has nothing to do with the thinking of the song in that format. The video is my vision of what I see hip hop as. Yeah. And so, you know, it's, I mean, when I tell you
speak about in the song.
It's stupid. It's like, when I say retarded and stupid, that's, in hip hop term, that means great.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
No need to explain.
Yeah. I have to.
Nowadays you do it.
I have to. You know what I'm saying? So, it's amazing, man. And you know what I'm make you laugh at? That was the first single for the South, Say the South. So the actual Trill Republik album is coming later, but what we did is, it's called Say the South, the soundtrack.
That's how, okay.
It's like, the video is like a mini movie. It's like 9 minutes long, that one video, you know what I'm saying? And I look at, it's shot, the video look like it's shot like 1800s, you know, and it's more of looking at the record companies as the slave owners. Artists now are the slaves, and a lot of people get that misconstrued and twisted, but it's almost like, if you get to a record label and a record company in New York, there's an A&R sitting in the office who don't know the culture, never knew the history of hip-hop, and he tells you, hey, put some tattoos on your face, dye your hair.
Become a meme.
And we're going to make you an overnight star.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the new wave, what it is. If you have a pair of Balenciagos, you can put $5,000 or $10,000 to your neck and hold the Draco.
That's crazy, bro.
You are a overnight celebrity in hip-hop. That's kind of what we are. Trill Republik, I started the label, and the name
says it all.
Thinking of a new hip-hop government as if I had a board of directors, and if it would be me, Pimp C, and DJ Screw, what would the label be called? Trill Republik.
And for the people who's involved, I know it's Yo Gutta. Who's
Yo Gutta? Me and him been friends over 10 years. Great hip-hop artist, man. He's intertwined with this culture. I love him to death. He's more of a if you mix a Texas and Louisiana, kind of like me. He's from Mansoura, Louisiana, but lives in Dallas. Then I have Trill. He's from Port Arthur, of course, the birthplace of Trill, and his lyrical. When I say him, his rap style and approach is like if I mixed Andre 3000 with Bun B.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I heard him for the first time when I heard it,
some
but
trillness in it.
That's a perfect way of explaining.
That's how his rap style is. Yo Gutta, if you mix ESG, Fat Pat, you shoot some Pimp C, that's his format and style. Then we have a singer, Jay Tronis. He's originally from Sherman, Texas. He sings on the project, you know. He's more like a Pimp C / Sleepy Brown.
Yeah.
Put them together.
Sleepy Brown from ATL, right?
Right,
yeah.
with a little funkadelic in him. That's him. And Say the South was the first single. We just shot the video for the next single. It's called Positive Vibes Only. We got solo.
I listened to the whole.
You know what's so crazy? Before we ain't even talk this, I got 2 young kids in the video. Michael and I forgot his name. Michael and Jake. I'm just saying that I met them at a parade I did with my girl Chris. She has a dance school.
Okay.
And they were the only 2 boys.
I was getting down.
That's all the rest of the little girls. And when I seen them, they just reminded me of some young Chris Browns or somebody, you know, and I invited them to the Positive Vibes video.
Damn, that's dope.
So that's crazy.
They gonna be in that.
They in the video. They in the video. You know,
up.
we in that. You know, they getting their routine. They flipping and dancing. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy. Here we are today talking about.
Man, we gotta get some Break Free kids on your next video, bro.
So for real.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy how you can mix ESG, everyday street gangster, with some hip hop kids, and we intertwine.
And it makes perfect sense.
Because hip hop is art, music is art.
Well, I want to go back into, because what you just said right now is exactly how I know, you know, even before I met you, and when it comes, we were talking about Screw, how he's real hip hop, you know, and you as a proponent, you know, when you hear Save the South and you listen to the lyrics, and you even go back to the 90s and the 2000s, like, it was, the South had to fight for its respect.
Oh, still
you know what
do.
I'm saying?
Still do.
But, and we still do, and you know, from the beginning, I've always been proud of where I'm from and what we represent as an art form.
Right.
You know, not even like as who's the dopest rapper,
Yeah.
as an art form. And when I think about art, you know, and what I was taught as a b-boy is originality is number one.
Of course.
It's about being yourself, and it's about adding something new to the game, something new to the vocabulary.
Exactly.
And Houston, since day one, as far as I know, going back to Screwed Up Click and y'all, that has been what it's been. It's about, you know, you guys took y'all's environment, y'all took exactly what it is. And just like how you said, the story of why you put Screw on Swinging and Banging, it's just because you was listening to him.
Exactly.
So that's the record that came out of it. It was natural. Y'all wasn't faking nothing, wasn't fronting. Everything was just on as it was, just natural output, what art is, you know. And that's what Houston has always been. So, and I think you touched a little bit on it right now, but I think it's rare to see that nowadays in hip hop and in the rap game, you know.
I mean, definitely. And I tell people all the time when I speak to, you know, different people. I have a marketing company, but we always talking about branding and different things of that nature. And when I speak to young artists, people ask me this exact same question every time when they say about, let me ask you something about for upcoming artists, you know. What's the best advice for them? They always ask me that. Yeah, you know, experience is the best.
We ask that at the end of every show.
Yeah,
that's our last question.
Experience is the best teacher. But when they ask me that, they always talk about different artists, or artists ask me what should they do. Authentic is number one. You have to be you. Now, if you look at the game as a whole, who are the artists that always number one?
The ones being themselves.
Ones being themselves. J. Cole is J. Cole. He didn't try to be Jay-Z when he got with Jay-Z. That's why he's winning. Kendrick is Kendrick. He's from Blood neighborhood, Compton. He did not try to be Easy. He did not try to be nobody else. He stayed himself. That's why he's winning. Jay has always been him. Wayne has been him. The list goes on and on and on and on. If you stay who you are and be true to your roots, that's the best way to win. And with hip hop, once what they do is, no matter what region you're from, if Atlanta is winning, you have so many artists and producers in Houston who are, you know, in different regions are like, well, I'm gonna try to be like Future, I'm gonna try to be like them, I'm gonna try to be like the Migos. So the culture get watered down. Then when that's not working, then they want to go to this and try to be that, try to be that.
Try to latch on to something.
Yeah, you must be yourself. You know, you can't go to the studio and be like, I gotta make a song like just because whoever's on the radio, that's the kind of song I gotta make. Yeah, you'll never last in this game.
I think people confuse nowadays like what it truly means to hustle and put in work.
Oh, of course.
I think people like
it's gone.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people do it, but a lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. It's about the intent and the approach to it.
Of course. And people get mad a lot of times. I always talk about what the OGs don't do for them. Right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When we all came up, I went to those states. I went to those cities. I went to those record stores. I personally built a relationship with these people, hand to hand, autograph to autograph, photo to photo. There was no social media in between. I signed your CD. This is real. This is from me. It means something. The relationships I have with my fans on social media. You know, I can't talk to everybody, but if you ask me something, I'm more than likely gonna talk to you. Yeah. If I do a feature with an up and coming artist and it's a jamming song, of course I would post it. You know, a lot of artists don't do that.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why our culture is so deep and embedded and still here, because we built relationships with our fans and with the streets and the culture for a long time.
Yeah.
We are connected, and we started so young. We still young. Look how good I look. I'm just not 29.
If you don't know, he can see himself right now. He's looking.
I'm 29.
I've been catching you looking at yourself the whole time.
I'm 29 right here. I'm 40 right there. I got to get this off. But that's the thing. At home now, an artist can drop a song at home, upload it straight to iTunes somewhere, and it's out. Yeah. So the essence of hip hop, the essence of the art, the culture was not put in it. You did not want to reach out and go do a real photo shoot.
Yeah.
You did not want to get, a real engineer to mix and master. You didn't want to get a producer to record it. You da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. The list goes on and on. So now you have this piece of work. If it blows, like a lot of stuff do, all the rest of the kids are going to follow that same format. They're not going to follow the true ethnic, of hip hop. It's like cooking. It's like you get a whole meal, a TV dinner. They're giving you a TV dinner. And you have your grandparents over here and your mom over here and your uncle over here who's cooking this food from scratch.
From the heart.
So when Thanksgiving comes and we go to sit at the table with John, Jay, you're going to sit a TV dinner here and we're going to sit this authentic meal that my family cooked.
Yeah.
After you taste both of them, you're going to be like, I don't want this TV dinner no more. That's what's happening in hip-hop.
That's a perfect metaphor, man. It's about, people think there's a formula to it, man, and I think that's a wrong, and again, I can relate as a dancer, man. There's actually a lot going on right now in breaking. I don't know if you've seen this, it's been in the news a lot, but breaking is actually most likely like 80% going to be in the Olympics for the first time in 2024.
Wow, that's so amazing.
In Paris.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, to kind of like wrap up how the state of the scene is nowadays, like it's maintained since of course there was a boom in the 80s, but it maintained an underground scene and all the way through. Some people think it died out, and I'm sure you hear nowadays some people hear breakdancing and think, oh, they're still around, people still breakdance,
Right,
but it's crazy, man, once you really dig into it, how big it is. And for me, like I have 2 kids. I feed my kids off of breakdance. I bought a house off of breakdance. We have 180 students that come and take DJing, graffiti, breaking, different classes.
Keeping the culture alive.
And they love it, so
this is what, when somebody says something good, I do this.
Of course, bro.
That's sauce.
But my point is, like, or to wrap up breaking, the similarities between the rap game and even though they're at different crossways and different paths, it's the same thing, man. Like everything you just said, a lot of that is happening in breaking too. And like whenever I started breaking, I got into it with my brother. There's a whole story behind it, but I simply did it just because like I kind of had no choice to.
I got you.
I had no choice. Like I love music. I was one of those kids listening to Napster and LimeWire and all that stuff, downloading all that stuff back, downloading ESG and screw tapes back in the day. And I just naturally like started to dance because it was around me and I was in an authentic hip hop environment, And nowadays there's a big debate going on, like there's a lot of people who don't want Olympics and they don't want breaking to go to Olympics because they think it's gonna.
Why? What they gonna do? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Why not? Yeah, that's so great for the art form. Because once you get in there with breaking, hopefully I'm still here when I see you gonna have to put the art of freestyle in there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I come give me a couple gold medals.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I think about it like this: I mentioned the 180 kids we have next door.
That's dope.
The goal is to have a gold medalist come out of break free. We'll become an Olympic training facility, And think about. I talked about this earlier with I had a meeting with somebody who's going to start an MC program here eventually, actually. So we're looking to start MCing in here. Oh. Exactly, special workshop from ESG in the future. You know what I'm saying? But we were talking, and he talked about the principle of one, and it talks about some people might think this is a cliche, but like if you reach one person, if you impact one person,
of course,
it makes it worth it from that point on.
Hey man, that's not cliche. That's within the thing.
But it's cliche because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
So when everyone talks about this particular breaking the Olympics debate and if it's worth it or not, think about the kid who's going to train and who's going to win that gold medal, whether he represents America or Russia or Japan or whatever, and the story and how much it's going to fill him with pride and how worth it it's going to be for them.
What's the difference in people still having ballerinas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same. If you look at all these commercials and different things of that we intertwine in
art.
Society and art, there's dancing to it. So whether it's considered or just called just break, it's still dancing.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of choreographed dancing that goes along. So why shouldn't breaking be a part of that? I'm gonna tell you what it is. Kids be fooled by TV, right? Same as that's. I went to a football game. There was like 12 people in the band. Because kids think it's not cool to be in the band.
Yeah.
You know, and in the hood, in society, what they're seeing and see the rappers that are winning, they think it's not cool to dance.
Yeah.
When in actuality, that's you just expressing yourself. You're having fun. You know, we have to let kids at a young age know that. Be yourself. Have fun.
Exactly.
If you want to dance, you can dance. Everybody don't have to walk around with a gun, you know, to be accepted in society, or especially hip-hop. That's what a lot of people think. You know what I'm saying?
It's refreshing to hear you say that, man, because some people might not think you have that view, or some people that don't do their research and they just hear your music right away, they would think something else.
I'm super gangster.
Yeah,
I'm super
up.
Gangster.
But it's because it's not because you choose to be.
I was just raised that way.
You were raised that way.
And that's my art. That's music. What I do. But
exactly.
I stay trying to teach kids different. You know, my son grew up in a great environment, and you know, I teach them the right way.
But you know what the foundation of hip. You know what not only the foundation of hip hop, but what the foundation of life is. Like what it takes to live and what it takes to be successful and have love in your heart and be an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Man, for real. We have to teach that. We have to preach that. You know?
So
like you say, starts with one. Everybody try to talk about stopping the violence in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. You can't stop. You can't change 1,000 kids' mind at once.
Yeah.
You have to change that one.
Yeah.
And once you change that one, maybe he can change a friend's mind.
Domino effect.
Domino effect.
Yeah,
you know?
man. So I mean, going off of that, what if you kind of heard your opinion? It's not to say, and I know you don't think this, but and a lot of people get this twisted when they hear like OG's opinions or rappers from the '90s opinions, they think that they hate how music is nowadays. I don't think you hate how music is nowadays, but
I got you. I'm gonna let you finish.
But I think you want to see it go in a different direction.
I mean, of course,
I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah, man. But I listen to. I'm in competition. It's a game. So I listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? I evaluate everything. Like my homie, he was tripping like, man, you be jamming Lil Baby? Yeah, I be jamming Lil Baby. There's some songs on Lil Baby I like, you know? I listen to everything because that's my game. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get caught up in the age thing. You know, I'm still young. I'm a lot younger than a lot of the artists that was before me because I started so young. Yeah. So I tell people I got 3 ages. I could be 30, I could be 40, I could be 20. So I am in each genre. You know, Young Easy, one of the hottest Hispanic hottest artists in the city, period. But he's a young Hispanic artist. And we have great chemistry. We work together a lot. Bam. That's that generation. Trill Republik. That's the 30-year-old group. I got them. HUC, we doing a Freestyle Kings album, you know, the Flip, the Kiki. That's your late 30 age group. You know, if I do a song with somebody like Jay-Z, if that'd be the Ice Cube. Now I'm in the late 40 age range. So I'm in all those age groups. You know, the thing about the hip-hop industry, just music in general, because I'm not a bitter guy. I want people to make money. You know, I want you to, you know, this is a business. You know, do what you can do to business. But when you look at, you know, it makes a kid not even want to make a record that's artful. You know, it makes
meaning behind it.
Meaning behind it. Because he's like, the radio's not gonna play me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I go on this song and I just say a bunch of dumb stuff, I'll get accepted. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Or if they put something out and they have a fear that it's gonna get 2 likes on social media. You know what I'm saying? So then it just stops them. It stops them already.
I know so many people in my family and not in my family that has great music and great talent. And if they post it and 1 million people, it's not a bunch of likes, they think it's a failure. Yeah. You know, they're in it for the wrong reason. Yeah,
I think a lot of factors, that being one of the biggest, is a lot of the reason why. It's not to say that the scene is in like the pits or whatever nowadays, but there's a certain state of the scene where originality is hard to find.
You know what? There's a difference. I mean, there's a reason. Now, corporations are in business for consumers to make money.
Number one.
When if you're in an art business, if you're a painter or a DJ, when you first get in that business, you must have a love and a passion for it. If you automatically start just because you want to be famous and make money,
yep, that intent,
it's messed up, and that's the intent of a lot of people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So many artists feel entitled, you know, to make the same as Drake and Lil Wayne, just because they have one song on the radio.
Yep.
You know, they don't see the struggle in the grind. They don't know Jay-Z worked for 10 years for that. They don't know I've been working for 20 years to get to where I'm at now. You know, they don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And they have the game messed up. You feel me?
Yeah.
And when you have, back then, music on radio was played by fans calling in and voting for certain songs, the likeness of it. Mm-hmm. Now there's a sheet that's going to go out and say we must play these songs.
Yeah.
So these people over here with great music cannot get played because of the politics. That forces a young kid to be like, hell with their dreams. Yeah. I'm not going to chase my dreams. Yeah. I'm going to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing. That's a problem in hip hop. That's deep.
But I think if you foundation, you know, and this is what we do here. This is our number one priority is to set a foundation in a kid's life, a young artist's life, that their number one approach should come from the heart. It should come from a place where it's only can be called from them. You know, it can only be the number one goal of artists is to create something that the world hasn't seen before, and it wouldn't exist unless you did that out there. Yeah. And so while we certainly do have programs where we can put them on a path to, you know, whether it be competing, you know, in the breaking scene, or maybe they want to go to Hollywood, like we have instructors who have experience working in Hollywood, done commercial work. We can put kids on the path to whatever path they would like to go. But the number one thing, and I think this is for all, you know, again, going back to that question about advice for young artists, it's about the foundation you set from the get-go, why you do this, and then how you move from that point on.
Right, exactly.
And I think it's important for b-boys, rappers, anybody out there to do that. DJs, everybody, man. Yeah. Painters, barbers, anybody. Yeah. And you spoke a little bit on this, like people seeing something and trying to emulate it and trying to copy that formula. And I think it's worth mentioning. There's a fine line between inspiration and copying. Right. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, you know, going back to when you listening to Screw and you forming the record Swangin' and Bangin', like you was listening to Screw, but you didn't go in the studio and then did a Screw record or tried to be like Screw. No. You just spoke your story and you did it in your way.
And I just made it.
That's a perfect example of inspiration, rather than you going in the studio and trying to be like Screw.
Right, of course not, because it was in me as a child. You feel me? I was chasing my dream from then. This is what I wanted to do. And the problem a lot of times, people may get a job. They have a 9 to 5. Everybody has to survive some kind of way, right? So you have a guy, he has a 9 to 5. His job is his number one priority. Mm-hmm. This guy over here, he's struggling. He can't pay his bills because his dream is his number one priority. Mm-hmm. In 5 years, damn. When we meet again, this guy who's working his 9 to 5, he may have a car, he may have this, and may have that, but that's all he's going to be at for these next 40 years because he's going to work there.
Hit a ceiling.
This guy here who struggled, couldn't eat, he's going to get the 4 for 4, did not say. 5 years now, his name is known. He becomes a brand, a business, and he worked because he chased his dream. Mm-hmm. You can't have it both ways. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You got to be invested in this.
You got to take that leap.
You got to take the leap. And a lot of people don't want to do that. You know, they want to rap on the weekends, or they want to rap when other people rap. Same if you want, you got to be great at it. If you're going to be great at it, you got to be great at it. LeBron, Jordan, none of these guys only shot free throws or basketball on the weekend. Exactly. It was in them. Yeah.
So, speaking on Houston in particular, how do you view how Houston is now? Like, obviously, I think the rap game is different than what it was in the early 2000s and the 90s. I guess, would you say, like you opened up the Trill Republik soundtrack with Save the South, so a lot of it is told on that, you know what I'm saying? It's put on wax. But do you think, like, because on the surface, it seems like Houston in particular has gotten the most respect it's gotten since the 90s. There was a period where people was hating, Pimp C made the record, Quit Hating the South. UGK made the record, and how do you view that era versus the era now?
When you come to hip hop, think about hip hop. New York will always be considered the Mecca. That's where it was started. So from New York, you have your wave. You have the West Coast wave. Da 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 da. You know, you have the sprinkles in the Midwest. Florida. Da 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 da. Atlanta got their thing. Mm-hmm. Houston, this culture. It's been there since the beginning, and we bred a lot of entrepreneurs, independent artists. Mm-hmm. Is what we did. We didn't need major labels, so that's why the culture and the music here is so great, because there's not an A&R, somebody telling us what to do.
And the style's been
preserved. You know, and that's why people like us tour so much.
Yeah.
You feel me? Even I've been on the road for 20 years. You know, now it's even picking up even more because people are able to go back with social media and look at oh, these guys been jamming.
Damn.
They respect it should be
due. Check the track record.
I had to tell Dave Myers, I made a post, Dave Myers, he shot the
music video director, right?
Yeah, Travis Scott video.
And the homies, that's what he.
I know he shot Travis Scott video.
Yeah.
That with Drake the Sicko Mode.
Mm-hmm. That was here in Houston.
Right. And when he shot the video, he was like, my guy Dorian Green, who shot Southside Still Holding, you know, he brought it to my attention. He was like, man, look what Dave is saying. And it was like, hey, this the best production video Houston has seen ever. And all the
He actually said that.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, the video looks just like Southside Still Holding.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even connect the dots, bro.
And Travis is my boy. You know, we friends, but it had nothing to do with him.
Yeah,
he was the director.
Well, he took he also inspired by you, of course.
So but for the director to say but it looks just like Southside Still Holding in certain ways.
Yeah.
So it's like people always get a piece of the culture and run with it.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, if you think of the greatest people in hip hop, not the greatest, but the first label, one of the greatest labels, Def Jam,
mm-hmm.
Rick Rubin, Russell Simmons, they came to Houston. They seen how Rap-A-Lot was doing business. Mm-hmm. They were like, how Lil J got these people playing all this Scarface in the club? They mimicked that.
Yep.
Mike Dean, he's the engineer for Kanye.
Yep.
Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. When Timbaland spoke of the Magna Carta album, he said, we got a lean sound. And you really mean a screw sound.
Yeah, exactly.
A HTOWN sound.
Yep.
That's really what you mean.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? And it goes on and beyond from there. Now, when I think about the scene now, right, people are in it for fame and success. You know, they're looking for the fame and success more than preserving the culture.
Yeah.
So they're going to typically do records that reaches for more fame and success without the culture. But what happens is the fans, you know, you get away with it. DJs, radio, they'll play certain things. But the fans, once they see it, it's not authentic.
Yeah.
They tend to start shying away from it. Then they have to run back and try to grab the culture.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me talk about SUC. Let me talk about screw. Let me talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so,
you summed it up perfect, bro. You put everything in perspective right now. That's a perfect way of putting it, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's how I look at it. And I don't hate none of the new. I work with everybody. I got all the young artists I work with out here, cause that's just me. I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
And it's a business.
Yeah.
You know.
And you don't come from a place of hate. You don't.
Not at all. Not at all. You gotta look at this. If a guy walks in this room and he's a new artist, and he walks in and he say, "What up, Jay? How you doing? What up, E? How you doing?" We're gonna speak to him normal. How you doing? Now, if he walks in here and he's like, "What up, Jay? You know, I don't even know you. I'm the new. What up, E? I'm the new name."
Yeah.
Now the energy is different.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna welcome you with open arms, because you come in here with hatred in your heart.
Yeah.
That's how the game is.
It's easy to tell when people come from that. You know, if you really look. And I think that's a good message too to get from everything you just said. Is like you gotta dig deep, and you gotta look at things beyond surface value. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take things just for what it is, surface value, then you'll get. That's all you will get.
That's all you get. The intro to the new album, Southside Still Holding. Guess what the intro called?
What is it?
The Core.
And how's the only way you can get to the court? Digging. Man.
And for you to come out and say that all gives a surface, you know, you don't even know that.
Exactly.
We never talked about that.
Come on.
The intro to the Southside Still Hall.
Because you got substance behind what you do.
Called decor.
Exactly. Yeah. So, man, I think my mind is actually literally blown right now, bro.
That's cool. That's cool.
No, because it's just crazy to hear, man, because you pretty much, have you ever heard the saying, like, don't meet your heroes? You ever heard that before? It's because, like, they'll let you down. You know what I'm saying? Real? But I can say you didn't let me down at all. I'm just tripping off. Because a lot of my heroes will let me down. You know I've watched breaking tapes, and I'll be like, man, this dude is so dope. And I meet him, and I'm like, wait a second.
I won't say the artist's name. There's different artists that I've met, right? And they be like that. But there's a lot of young artists that I work with, and they always tell me, they were like, man, you know what? I thought these other 5 artists that I met down here was gonna be
the truth,
and I met them, and I can't stand them. I love you because you know it's a different vibe and feel.
Genuine.
Yeah, TV have your food, radio have your food.
Straight up, man. And I think what you were saying about like people borrowing and taking little pieces, that's a thing that not a lot of attention is brought to, man. And then when people talk about copying and originality and biting, you know, as it was referred to. The weather's crazy in H-Town, man.
That's the hip hop guys.
That's the hip hop guys.
That's screw chopping.
Coming down, yeah.
Screw chopping. He's happy we letting him know the real. He's chopping and screwing up there.
But yeah, I think that is not addressed often, and I'm glad you addressed it. The point that, you know, it's easy to tell when people straight buy the style and buy the song or buy the lyric, you know. But it's hard to tell when people buy an approach or take a little bit of it and use it. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted for inspiration, you know. But they deliberately or they do it with intentions where they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take it and use it myself, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take this. And people who don't dig beneath the surface, they don't even know, and it just gets by, and they, you know what I'm saying. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you ready to break?
I got a break. I don't know how to break.
You might be that's Screw laughing at you right now.
So we pretty much done. We wrapping up.
Yeah, man. I think
great.
Well,
turned out great.
Well, man, I think
it was hard. It was hard to get here. This traffic in H-Town, you know.
Yeah, man. I think. Shout out to our chat people tuning in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Case closed. 20 years in the game. Chorus, my boy Rick. We got somebody from Brazil. We got a loyal listener every episode, Michelle Oliveira.
All right, shout out Michelle. She say what?
Yeah, he said, I would like to know the difference between a rapper and an MC. That's a good question.
Is it Mike or Michelle? I don't know.
It's
like
Michelle.
He got a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
that's how they say
it. Yeah, he's from Brazil. He's from Brazil. He tunes in every episode.
I seen Brazil. I had a documentary.
Have you ever been to Brazil, first of all?
No, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Shout out to Michelle.
The favela, whatever they call
favela,
it. Yeah, it's gangster over there.
You're going to be in there. Shoot
a
music video in there.
I should. I got to have some gangsters around me.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, the difference between a rapper and an MC. MC is necessarily doesn't have to be a rapper.
Yeah.
MC can be somebody who just holds the mic and controls the crowd, mic controller, keep everybody crunk while the DJ do what he
Master ceremony.
Master ceremony. You know, and a rapper is a person that makes songs.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, rapper is just like you just say everybody uses the term rapper. So it's not as
oversaturated.
It's oversaturated. Yeah. Swinging the banging. I got swinging the banging. I got swinging the banging 2 coming out next.
Dang, for real?
That's on the new album.
It only took 15 years.
20.
20 years. Oh no, I'm tripping.
20,
I didn't do my math.
Shout out Trill Republik. They on all platforms.
Yes, sir.
The album is amazing.
Yes,
Y'all go jam that.
SK Player says, been an ESG fan since '94, and I'm still and forever will be an ESG fan. To me, still the best freestyle artist of all time.
Already, SK. And look, once I go on the BET Awards or something like that, and once I wreck that freestyle and name everybody in that front row and what they have on, the rest of the world will know that too.
Ooh, so if you tuning in, BET execs. It's been a long overdue. I don't know why.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
What Houston artists have they had?
I thought they had Toby last time. Shout out Toby. I don't know too many. I don't even know if Scarface have been on. I don't know. I don't think UGK. Nobody.
But man, when I think of freestyle, like freestyle skills, actual freestyle, because you know the word freestyle nowadays. You see people throw a freestyle.
Yeah, they got the raps in their head.
But actually, off the dome, off the top.
It's real freestyle.
Houston, man, that's what I think of. Who else?
Who
else other than Houston is the kings of freestyle? You know,
nobody.
Freestyle. I really can't think, man.
Nobody.
But yeah, man. So when you going to Brazil?
I don't know. We got some overseas this tour.
Yeah, let us know what's coming up. What's coming up?
We'll be South by Southwest. Y'all get ready for that. Keep it Trill Thursday, March 14th. You know, me and the whole Trill Republik. We got our showcase with all the OGs from Houston and the young OGs, as I would call them, from Dope Boy Sauce to Young Easy. And like I say, the Trill Republik. Killer Callion, so many different artists gonna be in that. Shout out Paul Wall. Yes, everybody gonna be a part of that. That's on that Thursday. We got the Trill Republik album is out. The new Water World is coming out. Y'all look out for that. Sean Solo, the great producer who did Swinging the Bang and so many other hits. He has Water World, which is
still producing, still cranking
all out. The HTOWN, young, old, everything all intertwined. We got that first single called I'm So Southside for that. The next thing on Trill Republik, I just shot the video for with the hip hop kids in there dancing with me. That's called Positive Vibes Only. And when people hear that name of this song, it's gonna mess them up because they're gonna think something totally different. So go check that out.
That's dope. But by the way, our kids will beat those kids in the dance battle.
We gonna have to see that. Young Easy just dropped Picture Me Rolling. What else we got? And I think that's the whole. I know him. Dope Boy Sauce. Make sure y'all follow him. GT Distribution Empire.
Yes, sir.
All my Trill Republik artists. If you're on Instagram, follow me. ESG World. Follow Trillinger Low. No, Trillinger 49. Follow J Tronius. Follow Yo Gutter. And we keeping it moving. You know. Yes, shout out to the team. Rockbox. My podcast. ESG, you know, the ESG and Rocket Show. Y'all check that out. We changed the name. It'll be Swinging and Banging. ESG and Ryan Rocket. Nice. So y'all get ready for that. You know.
That's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Is it available on Apple or Spotify?
Dope, man. Sauce.
Of course, yeah.
That's a real thing.
Of course.
YouTube last.
Yeah, exactly.
iTunes first. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Because that's where the money is.
Yeah, where the money is. You know? If y'all checking, if you young out there, you youngsters out there.
You better get on the Apple podcast first.
Yeah, y'all follow my son out there, King Bryson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
How old is your son?
He just made 18.
Oh,
you know
nice.
So, you know.
What does he do? Is he,
you know, yeah, he's hip hop. You know, he's into rap. He's into fashion.
Nice.
You know, he's just, you know, I don't know what he's going to do. He's about to graduate. You know what I'm saying?
Nice,
so, you know.
Dope,
movies. We got a lot of movies. Screwed Up Christmas. That's coming. We got Sunday in Houston. So doing stand-up comedy. Screwed Up Christmas, Christmas comedy movie I did. You know, I do stand-up comedy now. That's
for real.
Yeah, they love that. They love. I done tore down the improv.
That's crazy. You've been at the improv already.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I did two. Matter of fact, me and Chingo Bling did two.
For real?
I did Chingo Bling comedy show last week.
That's crazy.
On a Wednesday. Ask him about it next time you talk to him.
He was our guest 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So so
his daughter used to be in the program. His daughter was a
that's
dope
dope.
Bigger, really dope. Chingo's a homie though.
Okay, I know.
I'm gonna check out your comedy though. That's dope.
Yeah, man, it's hard.
When did you start that?
A year ago. You know, and I started getting booked so much that I had to back it up because you know we got music and then movies. We shot 2 movies this year. Movies take like 2 months of your time.
Yeah, man.
You can't do nothing. So I kind of got it spaced out now.
Workload,
Yeah, got it spaced out now.
You mentioned you was going overseas.
Yeah, we working on something. We got some London dates going on that we're trying to lock in. And shout out to another artist that's with our umbrella. That his name Pontaneous. He's over in New Zealand right now.
Yeah.
He's from the umbrella, do a lot of good things. I got GCC. We got that. Y'all check that out. Yeah, man, I'm doing a lot of work, man.
No doubt, man.
Non-stop.
So y'all need to keep up, straight up. And I know we talked about this earlier, but you kind of called it out. You're like, man, people always ask me this, but we literally ask this at the end of every single podcast. And you already you dropped a lot of gems, man, but kind of a parting message to young artists out there, whether they be upcoming B-boys, B-girls, MCs, they're in Houston, they're in Brazil, whatever it may be. What do you think is the best advice?
I'll give you something different since I told them the other part of this. Invest in yourself. Now, if you go up to an artist and you have a CD and you scribbled on it, you didn't invest in yourself. You know, you didn't invest in it. You know, if you didn't take the time to save $40 or $50 to go get a studio session, you didn't invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's key. You know, if you just want it out there, I'm gonna tell you one thing, a problem a lot of artists have that I used to have. Every time we drop a song or a video, we want to put it out.
Yeah.
I can drop 30 songs a day if I wanted to. I can record 30 songs a day. But you're not giving the consumers or the fans time to grow and love either one of them. So if you got a song out there, the song may be a year old to you, but it's brand new to them because the masses haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Stick with it. Have a plan. Don't, if you drop this song and the song is called Break Free, sit down, give it your team. If you don't have a team and can't afford a team, go join a team. Or start a team that's not into it with money. Have a vision behind that one thing at a time. I don't want to see a new artist showing me 10 new videos. Yeah. We're not going to be able to grow and love you. Because you
not digestible.
It's not digestible. You know, when Jordan drops some new shoes, they don't drop 13 colors.
Yeah.
They drop one.
Yeah.
Shame you young artists do that. Concentrate on one thing at a time. Have a whole vision behind it. Make sure that song, when you do a song should be like a painting. A song should be like a movie. This is my baby. The song is called Break Free. The video, everything with my marketing should be measured and built around Break Free. I don't want to hear 13 other things. I want to hear that one thing.
ESG, baby. Say no more, say less, homie. Yo,
appreciate y'all having me.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Number love.
Man, it was a pleasure, bro. Thank you so much. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m., Break Free Worldwide Podcast. Check us out next week. Shout out to our sponsor, Monster Energy and Houston Media Source. Check out this quick commercial from HMS. Much love. We out. Peace.
To have your own TV show, we can make that happen at Houston Media Source. When you walk in the door, all you need is an idea. We have everything you need: studios, cameras, lights, microphones, and more. All professional quality and state-of-the-art. Get started by attending one of our free orientation sessions every Monday at 6 p.m. at our studios at 410 Roberts near Minute Maid Park. Get more information online at hmstv.org. Make your voice heard with Houston Media Source.